Hey, what's up guys? We're going to take a look at another Vietnam Zippo. Now right off the bat I can tell you it's fake. I'll probably put it in the title. This is another counterfeit, okay? As opposed to the first counterfeit that I showed you, this has some different things going on for it. The first thing we notice, let's look at the markings first. Vietnam on top, then the town or city of service is usually what would be on a real Zippo, and this one is Pleiku or Pleiku. Let's just say Pleiku. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but I'm going to go with that for the purpose of the video. So Vietnam, specifically Pleiku, from 67 to 68. Okay. On the bottom, here's our markings. Four vertical lines to the left of the logo and 3 vertical lines to the right, which would indicate this lighter being made in 1975. On the back, we have a little, star with 2 pistols, 2 very crudely done pistols. They look like something at a looks like flintlock guns or something. But anyway, one of the common sayings that was on a lot of the real ones is a year shortened as a day, then I'll go home soon. All right, the insert. We have our brass pins, as well as you can see a red flint in there. Now Zippo only has gold flints, they don't have red, so that should be an indicator right away. It indicates perhaps, that this was replaced. Doesn't mean it's not real. It's just, if you got this from somewhere, it just means that the original flint's not in there. Not a huge deal. And we look at these, and it says, for best results, use Zippo flints and fluid, made in Zippo, USA. Okay. So, hopefully you picked up on this. Let's start on the insert first. What's funny to me is you could see there's some serial numbers here, which is on the original fake insert. And they didn't think anything of it. They just put everything right over it by hand. Hopefully you can see that. It's very well done on top. On the bottom, not so much, but this is done by hand. It's not stamped into there with a machine like it should be. The made in, if you look at the in, the I is longer than the N. On Zippo, the O is bigger than the rest of the letters. You can kind of tell it's hand done. At first glance, it looks pretty neat, but no, it's done by hand, which Zippo would never do. Nothing on the back except for some gunk. All right, the lighter insert, for all intent purposes, is brand new. Never been used. The case is in extraordinary condition for being to Vietnam and back. They really took care of this one. In fact, they never used it. Someone who's stating on their personal lighter that they're there a very long time. The statement is about time. Is a year shortened as a day, then I'll be home soon. Basically declaring, I've been here for friggin' forever. When am I gonna go home? Well, if you've been there for friggin' forever, why don't you use a Zippo? Thing looks brand new. So already some huge red flags. The biggest one obviously should be the very hand-done base. The Zippo logo, it looks pretty similar. Everything looks pretty similar. At first glance, you might not catch it. The engraving itself, I can't get in that close, but it's rough. The lines, they're not evenly spaced on the left. Bradford happens to be spelled right, which is nice. But you can see the O is not even engraved as deep. So as I turn this, it disappears. That O looks like it was done. Actually, right there, you can't even see the O. Well, right. Anyway, you see what I'm saying. The rest of the engraving has been filled in with black. Okay, but the O, for some reason, did not. Perhaps done with a different machine. Perhaps they ran out of the ink, whatever, that gets filled in. Whatever happened, it's funky. It's obviously not right. Now, as far as the information on here, with the other Zippo, I kind of debunked it as being real based upon the information didn't make sense. Okay, in the other Zippo's situation, it said U.S. Army, but it was saying there was service at a Marine Corps camp, so it didn't make sense. It didn't fly with me. Now, what did I say this was? Pleiku? Maybe? I don't know. Pleiku was a very pivotal city in the Vietnam War. It was centralized in Vietnam, had a lot of access to the ports. I believe in 1975, which this date is saying it's supposed to be 1975. So someone did their homework here. There was a major event. It was an attack on the army base by the Viet Cong, which pretty much it's been, I guess some people would say, pretty much the turning point in which the United States got involved with the Vietnam War. Okay, it was a major event. So being such a major event, it's easy to know and easy to replicate. So when you see something like this, it doesn't mean it's fake right away, but to take such a big event and place this soldier, whoever owned this Zippo, in that event, and in addition, make it look brand new, not all that smart. A collector would know this is fake just by the fact that things are hand done on it. This is a regular Chinese or maybe a Vietnamese, just no-name Zippo style lighter that they did their own engravings on in an attempt to make a lot of money. You know, people could have paid $100 for this on eBay if they really thought it was genuine. Most collectors would understand it's not. Some of the higher end counterfeits do have their own stamps that they actually make, and they are punched into the bottom. This was just hand done on a pre-existing lighter. But you know, it still looks nice. It's still a conversation piece, and to the average person, like I said in the other video, you can tell, you know, a whole long complicated story and people would believe you. They wouldn't think otherwise. There's no reason to. But doesn't have that Zippo click either. Now, in one of my original videos, I talked about spotting counterfeits and the sound being important. It doesn't have that sound. Now, I will mention this video just in case you didn't see the other one too. Some Zippos that have emblems on the front, such as this. This is not a genuine Zippo. It's another fake, which we'll show in another video. But if it has an emblem on the front, it changes the weight of the whole deal, and it will change the sound. So you could have a real Zippo that doesn't sound like a real one because there's something attached to it, which is taking away from the vibration in the metal when it tings or dings or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, another counterfeit Vietnam Zippo. I love to collect these things. I'll never pay more than 20 bucks for one of these on eBay. And right now, there's so many collectors out there that they all get scooped up and everyone thinks they're real, and people are paying still $70, $80, $100 for them. And they turn out to be fakes, but some people never know and never care. They think it's cool. So that's it. Just some more telltale signs of some Vietnam fakes. Now, if you did not see the other video, I will suggest in this one, if you're interested in this at all, there is a dedicated book to Vietnam and war-related Zippos for collectors. They give you plenty of information. They give you values on some of them. They give you the most common pictures, the graphics, and of course the sayings were very important. You know, each Zippo had a character, but you know, different people had different sayings depending on your personality. Some were pretty dark and crude and lewd. You know, a lot of sexual stuff and violent stuff on them, but some of them were just, you know, average. Really just depended on the soldier and their mood. And I would imagine a lot of Vietnam soldiers during the war, you know, they had potty mouths, and like, who can blame them? They were pretty much in hell and didn't know if they were going to survive the rest of the day. So, you know, the bad comes out of you sometimes when you're in a situation like that, which is fine, you know, and then of course it related to the artwork on their lighters. So, interesting factoid, a random factoid, is that during Vietnam, when guys ran out of like Zippo fluid, they didn't really use fluid that often, from what I understand. This information is coming from a Zippo book as well as word of mouth by someone who supposedly was in Vietnam. I can't, you know, define these to be certain, but certainly an accepted rumor is that the guys would basically, when their Zippos were empty, took the inserts out, put a piece of wire through here, thin gauge wire, and dunked them right into their fuel tanks, just straight gasoline. That's how they fueled their Zippos. For convenience, you know, they didn't carry specific lighter fluid. It's just whatever, and they did work. Not as efficiently, but they certainly worked. That, I think, is it. So that's it. That's it. Yeah, nothing else really to say about this one specifically. Sometimes the hinge, I'll do a separate video on specific dates on Zippos, because anyone can look up the Zippo charts, you know, and see what means what, such as like these hash marks or slash marks, these straight up and down vertical marks, 4 on the left, 3 on the right, happens to be 1975. That information is easy to look up. What you can't find out is the really old ones, the differences, such as, you know, a 3-barrel hinge as opposed to a 5-barrel hinge, the different patent numbers, you know. I'll go through all that in a separate video. But that's pretty much all I can say about this one. And I thank you very much for watching, and I will certainly have more Zippo videos in the very near future. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.